Hey, so hello, welcome to another TateHess23 tutorial video. This one will be how to make a simple maze game on Scratch. This will also cover the basics of arrow key movement and other stuff. So, well, I guess let's just get started. Okay, so now as you can see here, we are on Scratch project as per usual. Have we ever not done a tutorial and not been on a Scratch project? I don't really think so. Okay, so for a maze game, we don't really want the character to be this Scratch cat, but I do kind of want to make it the head at the moment. So we're just gonna have the character be a tiny Scratch cat head. Now, as you can see, this is pretty big for a maze game character, so we're gonna want to shrink it and make it a tiny one. That's a little bit too tiny. We want it slightly bigger. That's about good. So now, as we learned in, I think it was 2 videos ago, but I can't really remember, we learned how to make your character jump. We're going to want to make code similar to that, just slightly different. So one green flag clicked forever. If right arrow key is pressed, we're going to make it so that it will change the X position, which is the position that goes forward and backwards. We're going to want to make that so that it will move 10 steps on the X position, allowing us to move forward. So there, now we can move with one key. That's like super great and stuff. Anyways, so duplicate, we're going to want to make it so they can go left too, and all the other directions. So now you can go right and left. Now you can be like, okay, we want to make it so it can go up and down too. So, as I bet you might have guessed, one green flag clicked forever. If key up arrow is pressed, then we're going to want to make it so it won't change the X position because we want to make it up. And X is just side to side. So we're going to want to make it so that it will change the Y position, but it can't. So now it can go up. Also, the cool thing about this movement engine, it can go diagonal. See, look, as you can see, we can go diagonal. But we need to make it down so it can get the full experience. So if key down arrow key press, change X by -10, because if we change it by -10, upwards would be positive, and so therefore negatives will be downwards on the y-axis, similar to the x-axis. So now we can move our character around fluently, and we can even make him go diagonal. Now, we need to choose a starting position, so I think this would be a good starting position. Okay, let me just go drag him to right about here. So our starting position will be X -116 to Y 164. Yours can be whatever you want. This is just an example. So now, whenever you click the green flag, it will just like zap him right over here. This is a spawn point, and you will spawn here every time. So now, since we have the movement, we need to make the actual maze. So I won't make the world's most detailed maze. Actually, I'm going to make a not very at all detailed maze for this first example. We're also going to make it so that in this tutorial, there will be multiple mazes that you can actually beat. So you can beat the maze. We will be going over that as well in this tutorial. So anyways, I'm going to go finish up this maze off camera, and I'll be right back. So, yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I made a very simple looking maze. So now we're going to need to actually code it. So now we're going to want to go over to Sprite 1, and we're going to make it so that, as we've been doing a lot this video, forever, if, then, but we're going to make it something different. So it would use something else when you click the green flag. We're going to make it so that if it is touching, we don't want to make it so that if it's touching a mouse pointer. We want to make it so that if it is touching Sprite 2, which is the sprite of this maze, which you can rename to whatever you want. For now, it's just Sprite 2. Sprite 2. We're going to want to make it so that if touching Sprite 2, it will go to this position. Now, the way this works is this will make it look like your character is dying because it will snap back to the original position where you started, which will make it look like he respawns. Let me go show you what I mean. See, look. So now, as you can see, we can actually like die and stuff. Now, there's just one more thing we need to do. Make it so that there can be more levels, and you can actually beat the levels. So we are gonna go choose a sprite. I would just make the sprite, but for now we're just gonna do the green flag. You can make this whatever you want. I'm just gonna do the green flag for right now. We're gonna want to make it go to this position because this was gonna be the ending position. You can make the ending position wherever you want in your maze. It does not have to be right here. It's just that, well, that's a pretty good place to put the ending position of this maze. Anyway, I'm going to slightly modify this just because I traditionally like to do this. And now I want to shrink it. Okay, so now we're going to want to make it so that over on him, if it is touching green flag, which is the name of this sprite, we're going to make it so that we'll do this, but we also want to make it do something else. Broadcast something known as, we're just going to name this broadcast next level. Because what else would we name it if it's the ending point? So, next level. When I receive next level, next costume, when green flag is clicked, we're gonna make it so we'll go to the. We're gonna want to make it so that it will switch costume to costume 1. Just to test this out, we're just gonna make another blank sprite just that tests if this works. Now when we click green flag, it will automatically convert to this one. Now we're gonna test out this level. Make sure that it's beatable. Now we can beat it. Now, as you can see, went to the next level, which at the moment is blank. And if we beat it again, then it will just restart. So, I'm just going to quickly design the next level off camera. You should be able to find it. I'm going to do this. Anyways. So, as you can see, I'm back. And I am pretty much done with this second maze. As you can see, it's not the world's best maze in the world. But yeah. Now, I'm just going to slightly improve this one by just adding in like a couple of rectangles. Doing simple things such as this just makes it seem like your maze is actually harder when it's easier. So now, we're going to want to test out this maze, retest it for you some modifications, and the next one, just to make sure that they're both beatable mazes. Yep. Okay, so now I beat that one, and this one, I actually made this one crazy easy. I don't know why the second one's easier. This is the second time I recorded this, because the first time, the volume wasn't working, but anyways. Both times, the second one was easier. I don't really know why, but now, as you can see, we have 2 mazes that we can beat. If you want to add more mazes and more levels, all you have to do is just design a new costume in it or a new maze. Now, you always have to make sure that the starting point and the ending point are the same starting and ending point for each level. It's just that the maze is what's different. Now, I'm going to go show you something cool that is one of the advantages of this maze. Your mazes, even though all my mazes are only black, your mazes can be any color. To prove this, I'm going to draw a red line across the screen. Now, look. This red line would kill me, because with some engines, your thing can only have one color, but the advantage of this engine is that you can have as many colors in your maze as you want. I just chose to design these ones black. Well, this is basically the end of this tutorial. I have taught this tutorial on how to make a simple maze game and understand basic arrow key movement physics things. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I encourage you to watch my other tutorials. And anyways, this is about the end of this tutorial. So, well, I guess this is the end. So, bye. I'm not very good with outros. Okay, bye.